Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cowboys and Cattle. In our last episode, Ty and Amy returned home from Alaska to what should have been a joyful reunion with Lindy. But the relief of coming home was overshadowed by Ty's rapidly deteriorating mental state. On the plane, he flinched at every sound, requiring constant grounding techniques just to remain functional. The reunion with Lindy was emotional. She'd counted every hour they were gone. But Amy noticed Ty was rigid, going through motions without fully connecting. That first night brought the worst nightmare yet, Ty screaming about failing to save Storm, Echo, Luna, and Daniel. The nightmares were more intense than before Alaska, complete scenes rather than fragments. In the barn, a flashback triggered by familiar smells left Ty frozen, unable to distinguish past from present. Lou delivered brutal honesty. Alaska didn't help. It made everything worse. Dr. Chen arrived for an emergency session, diagnosing Ty with acute psychiatric crisis requiring intensive treatment, daily therapy, medication, real commitment to recovery. Just as they were processing this devastating assessment, Morrison called with worse news. Dr. Marcus Webb, one of the rescued vets from Alaska, was found murdered in Seattle. Apparent professional hit. Webb was scheduled to testify against Nathan. Morrison's conclusion sent chills through everyone. Someone is eliminating witnesses before Nathan's trial, and Ty is a prime witness, which means he's a target. If this dangerous journey has gripped you, please hit that like button and subscribe. This episode opens not at Heartland with family and familiar safety, but in a sterile FBI field office in Calgary, where Morrison stands before a wall covered with photographs and case files. Three faces stare out from crime scene photos. Dr. Marcus Webb, Dr. Sarah Kim, Dr. Robert Chen, all rescued from Nathan's Alaska facility, all scheduled to testify, all dead within 7 days. Morrison's expression shows the grim reality he's about to deliver to a family already at the breaking point. The danger isn't theoretical anymore. It's active, it's escalating, and it's coming for Ty Borden next. This is episode 90, and today the question isn't whether Ty will be targeted, it's whether his family can be protected when the enemy is already watching. The body count. Morrison's vehicle pulled into Heartland's driveway at 7:47 a.m., accompanied by 2 FBI SUVs. The small convoy was impossible to miss, and by the time Morrison reached the porch, the entire family had gathered. Lou, Jack, Lisa, Amy, and Ty, who looked like he hadn't slept at all since yesterday's call about Dr. Webb. Lindy peered out from the kitchen window, her young face showing confusion at the unusual number of visitors. Katie quickly distracted her, suggesting they go feed the chickens, giving the adults privacy for whatever grim news was coming. Morrison's expression as he climbed the porch steps told them this wasn't a routine check-in. This was an emergency briefing. "We need to talk. All of you. Inside." They gathered in the living room. Morrison setting up his laptop on the coffee table, while 2 FBI agents remained outside, their presence making the threat feel uncomfortably real. "I'm going to be direct, because we don't have time for soft approaches. As of this morning, 3 veterinarians rescued from Nathan's Alaska facility are dead." He pulled up photographs on his laptop. 3 faces, 2 men, 1 woman, all appearing to be in their 30s or 40s. All with the haunted eyes of people who'd survived trauma. Dr. Marcus Webb, found dead in Seattle 4 days ago. Initial report was home invasion gone wrong. Dr. Sarah Kim died in a car accident in Vancouver 2 days ago. Single vehicle crash on a clear road. And Dr. Robert Chen found dead in his Portland apartment yesterday morning. Apparent accidental overdose of prescription medication.
3 accidents in 1 week?
That's what local police thought initially. But our forensics teams examined all 3 scenes. Webb's home invasion showed signs of professional execution. No forced entry. Security system disabled by someone who knew what they were doing. Kim's car had brake line tampering that caused catastrophic failure. And Chen's accidental overdose was actually a lethal injection of barbiturates administered while he was unconscious. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Not accidents, murders, professional hits.
Why? Why kill veterinarians who escaped from Nathan?
Because all 3 were scheduled to testify at Nathan's trial. Webb was going to testify about the illegal breeding programs and genetic manipulation. Kim was going to corroborate forced labor conditions. Chen was going to provide evidence of the torture methods Nathan used to ensure compliance. He let that information settle before continuing. Whoever is doing this is systematically eliminating Nathan's potential witnesses, and they're doing it with precision and resources that suggest serious organization.
Council remnants.
His voice was flat, emotionless, the tone of someone too exhausted to feel fear properly. That's our working theory. Gracie Price is still at large. She has money, connections, and motivation. Her brother is facing life in prison. If she can eliminate enough witnesses, Nathan's case becomes significantly weaker.
But there were 20 vets at that facility. She can't kill all of them.
She doesn't have to kill all of them. She just has to kill the ones who can do the most damage to Nathan's defense, which brings me to why I'm here. He looked directly at Ty. Ty, you're the most critical witness the prosecution has. You were held at the facility longer than anyone else, 5 years. You worked directly with Nathan. You can testify to the forced labor, the torture, the illegal operations, the breeding programs. You can connect Nathan personally to crimes that other witnesses only saw pieces of. Your testimony could put Nathan away for life without possibility of parole.
Which makes me a priority target.
Which makes you the priority target. If I were strategizing how to help Nathan, eliminating you would be at the top of my list. You know too much, you experience too much, and you can articulate it in ways that will devastate Nathan's defense. Lou stood abruptly, her voice rising with panic.
So what are you saying? That someone's going to come here, to Heartland, to kill Ty?
I'm saying we need to take immediate protective measures. I'm recommending we move your family to a federal safe house until after Nathan's trial. Secure location, 24-hour protection, complete isolation from potential threats.
No.
The word came out sharp and absolute. Everyone turned to look at Ty.
I'm not leaving Heartland. I'm not putting my family in a safe house. Lindy just got me back from Alaska. I'm not terrifying her by running away and hiding.
Ty, 3 people are dead. Professional hits. Whoever is doing this has demonstrated capability and willingness to kill. Your family is in danger as long as you're here and accessible.
And my daughter is traumatized if I uproot her life again. Hide her away. Surround her with armed guards. She's 9 years old. Morrison. She's already dealing with a father who has nightmares and flashbacks. I won't add living in fear for her life to that burden.
Ty, if you're in danger.
Then I deal with it. But I'm not running. I'm not hiding. And I'm not letting fear destroy what's left of our normal life.
Dr. Chen, who'd been sitting quietly in the corner, spoke up for the first time. Morrison, can I speak with you and Ty privately? There's a clinical component to this that needs to be addressed. Morrison nodded, and the 3 of them moved to Jack's office, leaving the family in tense silence in the living room. Once the door closed, Dr. Chen turned to Ty with professional directness. Ty, I need you to understand something from a psychological perspective. You're in acute crisis right now. Your PTSD is severe. Adding the stress of imminent physical threat could trigger a complete breakdown. You might think you're protecting Lindy by refusing FBI protection, but what happens when the stress becomes too much and you have a psychotic break in front of her?
I can handle it.
No, you can't. That's not criticism. That's clinical reality. Your nervous system is already overwhelmed. You're barely sleeping. You're having constant flashbacks and nightmares. Your body is in permanent fight-or-flight mode. Adding real danger on top of that. Ty, your mind will shut down to protect itself. And that shutdown could happen at the worst possible moment. What exactly are we talking about here? What does a complete breakdown look like? In Ty's current state, possible outcomes include catatonia, complete unresponsiveness, psychotic break, inability to distinguish reality from hallucination, severe dissociation, his mind literally leaving his body to escape trauma, or in worst-case scenario, his body just gives up, heart attack, stroke, organ failure from sustained extreme stress. She looked at Ty with compassionate firmness. You're not invincible. You're human. And you're a human who's been through more trauma than most people experience in a lifetime. There's only so much your body and mind can take before they simply stop functioning.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying there are ways to accept protection without traumatizing Lindy. The FBI can be discreet. They don't have to be obvious. You can explain to Lindy that some people are helping keep the family safe without making it terrifying. You can find middle ground between total isolation and total vulnerability. Morrison pulled out his phone, pulling up documents. Here's what I can offer. We don't move you to a safe house. We bring protection to Heartland. Plain clothes agents positioned around the property. Security upgrades to your systems. Protective detail for Lindy at school. Discreet, she won't even know they're there. And a panic button for you, Amy and Lou. One press, and we have teams here in under 3 minutes.
And how long does this last? Until Nathan's trial? That's over a week away.
Until the trial concludes and we're confident the threat is neutralized. Could be 2 weeks, could be a month. But, Ty, the alternative is we find you, like we found Dr. Webb. And then Lindy doesn't just have a traumatized father. She has a dead one. The bluntness of the statement hit like a physical blow. Ty's resistance wavered. The weight of reality pressing down.
I need to talk to Amy and Lou and my family. This isn't just my decision.
That's fair. But Ty, I'm going to be very clear with you. If you refuse all protection, I'm recommending you voluntarily admit yourself for psychiatric observation, because keeping you functional in your current state while under active threat is beyond my capacity as an outpatient therapist. You'd need 24-hour monitoring, which a hospital can provide.
You're saying if I don't accept FBI protection, you'll have me committed?
I'm saying if you're going to be in danger, you need to be somewhere you can be properly supervised and supported. Home with your family isn't that place. If you're also a target for assassination. Ty stared at her, seeing the clinical logic even as he hated it. He was being backed into a corner. Accept FBI protection or accept psychiatric hospitalization. Either way, his autonomy was being stripped. Take an hour. Talk to your family. But Ty, I need an answer by noon. Because every hour we delay is another hour someone could be planning how to get to you. The family decision. Back in the living room, Ty explained the options Morrison had laid out. The family's reactions were immediate and divided.
FBI protection? Obviously, this isn't even a question. 3 people are dead, Ty, dead. We accept the protection, and we deal with whatever disruption it causes.
I agree with Lou. Pride isn't worth your life. If the FBI can keep you safe, we let them do it.
But Lisa's expression showed more nuance. You're right. What about Lindy? How do we explain armed guards to a 9-year-old who's already anxious about her father's safety?
We don't tell her they're guards. We tell her they're, I don't know, ranch hands, security consultants, something that sounds normal.
Amy's right. We protect Lindy by controlling what she knows. She doesn't need to know people are trying to kill her father. She just needs to know there are extra people around helping keep the ranch safe.
Ty walked to the window, looking out at Heartland. The barn, the pastures, the mountains in the background. His sanctuary. The place he'd fought 5 years to get back to. And now it was becoming a fortress.
What kind of life is that? Living in fear? Looking over our shoulders constantly?
It's a temporary life, until the trial ends. That's weeks, not years. We can handle weeks.
Amy moved to Ty, taking his hands.
I know this feels like losing control. I know it feels like Nathan is still controlling your life even from a jail cell. But Ty, refusing protection isn't strength. It's just stubbornness, and I need you alive more than I need you stubborn.
Her voice broke on the last word. Ty saw the fear in her eyes, real, visceral fear that she might lose him. Not to trauma this time, to violence.
Okay, we'll accept the FBI protection, but they needs to keep it as discreet as possible. And someone needs to talk to Lindy before she sees agents around the property. She needs to hear from us, not figure it out on her own.
Lou nodded, relief evident on her face.
I'll talk to her. I'll explain that some people are going to be helping around the ranch for a while. Keep it simple and non-threatening.
Morrison, who'd been waiting in the hallway, returned to the living room.
We accept the protection, but we have conditions. Agents need to be as invisible as possible. No obvious shows of force that would terrify Lindy. Security upgrades need to look like normal ranch improvements, and the protective detail at her school needs to be completely hidden. If she finds out strangers are watching her, she'll panic.
Agreed. I'll have my teams here within 2 hours to begin setup. In the meantime, everyone stays inside. No one goes out to the barn or pastures alone. And Ty, I need your phone.
Why?
Because if someone's tracking witnesses, they might have put spyware on your device. We need to sweep it and install secure communication software. Ty handed over his phone reluctantly, feeling another piece of autonomy stripped away. Morrison bagged it like evidence. You'll get it back in a few hours, cleaned and secured. Until then, use this. He handed Ty a basic prepaid phone. Only call family and FBI on this device. Don't use it for anything else. Assume any other communication is compromised. As Morrison left to coordinate his teams, the family sat in heavy silence, processing the reality that their home was about to become a guarded compound. Lindy's voice from the kitchen broke through. Can I go outside now? I want to see Harley. Everyone looked at each other. The new reality settling in. Even something as simple as a child visiting her horse now required security clearance.
Not yet, sweetheart. We need to talk to you about something first.
The emergency session. But while Lou explained the situation to Lindy in age-appropriate terms, Dr. Chen pulled Ty aside for an emergency therapy session. They sat in the den, Ty looking worse than he had even yesterday, exhaustion written in every line of his face. How are you handling this? Honestly,
I'm barely functioning. Every sound makes me jump. Every shadow looks like a threat. And now I'm being told someone actually is trying to kill me, which means my paranoia isn't paranoia, it's accurate threat assessment.
That's going to make managing your PTSD significantly harder. Your brain can't calm down when there's real danger present. The techniques I taught you work when the threats are imagined. But these threats are real.
So what do I do?
We adjust our approach. Instead of trying to convince your brain the danger isn't real, we work on giving you tools to function despite real danger. Military personnel use similar techniques, accepting threat while maintaining operational capacity. She pulled out her notepad. First, we need to get you sleeping. I'm prescribing stronger medication for nighttime. You can't function on zero sleep. Second, we increase therapy frequency. I want to see you every day until the trial ends. Intensive support to keep you from completely breaking down. Third, you need to let go of responsibility for security. That's the FBI's job now. Your job is recovery. Before Ty could respond, the prepaid phone Morrison had given him rang. Unknown number. Ty answered cautiously.
Hello?
Ty, it's Daniel. They gave me a new phone number to reach you on. Morrison said your regular phone might be compromised. Relief flooded through Ty at hearing his friend's voice. But Daniel's tone was off, strained, frightened.
Daniel, are you okay? You sound…
Someone tried to get into my hospital room last night. The words sent ice through Ty's veins. Dr. Chen leaned closer, listening.
What do you mean? Tried to get in?
I woke up around 2 a.m. to someone trying to open my door. I called out asking who it was. A voice said they were the night shift doctor doing rounds. But Ty, my regular night nurse, had been in 20 minutes earlier and told me no doctors were scheduled until morning. His voice shook. I pressed the call button. When the nurse came, whoever was at my door was gone. Security reviewed footage and found a person in a white coat near my room. But they weren't on staff. Fake ID badge and tie. They had a syringe. Security thinks it might have been filled with the same barbiturates that killed Dr. Chen.
Oh my God. Daniel, are you safe now? Did they move you?
Fafnir moved me to a secure facility this morning. But if they came for me, you need to be careful. You need protection.
I have it. Morrison just set up FBI security at Heartland.
Good, because whoever is doing this isn't stopping. They tried for me, even knowing I'm in a hospital with security. If they're that bold, they'll try anything. After ending the call, Ty sat in stunned silence. Dr. Chen watched him process the information, seeing his already fragile mental state fracturing further. Clenty couldn't focus on anything. His mind was racing through implications. If they'd tried for Daniel in a hospital, they could try for Ty at Heartland, which meant Amy was in danger. Lindy was in danger. His entire family was in danger because of what he knew.
Maybe I should go to a safe house, away from here. If I'm not at Heartland, my family isn't a target.
You yourself said you don't think Lindy would handle you disappearing again. Ty, you're catastrophizing. The FBI can protect you here. You don't need to isolate yourself now anymore.
But if something happens, If they get past the FBI and someone gets hurt because of me,
Then it won't be your fault. It will be the fault of the people trying to kill you. You can't take responsibility for other people's violence. You can only control your own choices, and right now the healthiest choice is staying with your family, accepting protection, and working on your recovery. The prepaid phone buzzed with a text message. Unknown number. Ty's stomach dropped even before he opened it. What is it? Ty's hands shook as he opened the message. His face went completely white. Without a word, he handed the phone to Dr. Chen. The message was an image, a photograph, taken from a distance but perfectly clear. It showed Lindy on the playground at her school, blonde braid visible, laughing as she played with friends. Taken today. Ty could see she was wearing the same purple jacket she'd put on this morning. Below the image, a text message in cold, emotionless letters. Pretty daughter. Would be a shame if something happened to her. Dr. Chen's professional composure cracked. She immediately stood, moving to the door. Morrison, we need Morrison now! Within seconds, Morrison was in the room. Dr. Chen handed him the phone without explanation. His expression went from concerned to furious in the space of a heartbeat. When did this come in?
just now, 30 seconds ago.
Morrison was already on his radio, barking orders. All units, we have an active threat against a minor. I need immediate protective detail to the elementary school. Subject is Lindy Borden, 9 years old, blonde hair and braid, purple jacket. Secure her immediately and transport her home. This is priority 1. He turned to Ty and Dr. Chen. They're not just threatening you anymore. They're threatening your daughter. This changes everything. Amy appeared in the doorway, having heard Morrison's raised voice. She saw Ty's expression and knew immediately something was catastrophically wrong.
What happened?
Ty couldn't speak. Morrison showed her the phone. Amy's knees buckled. Morrison caught her, helping her to a chair.
They're watching Lindy. They took a picture of her today. They're threatening our daughter.
Her voice rose to near hysteria.
Get her out of that school. Get her home now.
Teams are already en route. They'll have her here in under 10 minutes. But Amy, Ty, this message tells us something important. Whoever sent this wants you to know they can get to Lindy, which means they're trying to scare you, intimidate you into not testifying.
It's working. I'm terrified. If they can take pictures of her at school, they can...
He couldn't finish the sentence, couldn't voice the horrifying possibilities. They can take pictures, but they can't get to her, not with FBI protection. That photo was taken before we had teams in place. Lindy doesn't go anywhere without protection. School, home, anywhere. We keep her safe. We're expanding protection to the entire family. No one leaves Heartland without FBI escort. No one. The sound of vehicles outside. FBI agents arriving to begin security setup. And moments later, another vehicle. This one with Lindy inside, surrounded by 3 FBI agents who'd pulled her from school. Lindy burst through the door, confused and frightened, not understanding why strangers had taken her from class and brought her home. She saw her parents and ran to them. What's happening? Why did those people take me from school? Mom, I'm scared. Amy wrapped her arms around Lindy, her own body shaking. Ty joined them, pulling both his wife and daughter close, trying to provide protection he didn't have the power to give.
You're safe, Princess. Those people are helping keep you safe. Everything's going to be okay.
But Lindy wasn't fooled by reassurances. She was 9, not stupid. She could see her father was terrified, could feel her mother shaking, could sense the entire family was in crisis. Someone wants to hurt us, don't they? That's why all these people are here. Someone wants to hurt Daddy. The directness of the question left everyone speechless. Lou moved closer, kneeling to Lindy's eye level.
Sweetheart, some bad people are trying to scare us, but they can't hurt us because we have lots of good people protecting us. These FBI agents are the good guys. They're making sure we're all safe.
For how long? How long do the bad people want to hurt us?
Just for a little while, until some important things get settled. Then everything goes back to normal.
But Lindy looked at her father, seeing the truth Lou was trying to hide. Tyda's face showed devastation and terror and guilt, all things a 9-year-old could read, even if she couldn't name them. "Daddy, are you going to die?" The question broke something in Ty. He pulled Lindy closer, his voice thick with emotion.
No, Princess, I'm not going to die. I'm going to be right here with you, I promise.
But even as he made the promise, Ty knew he couldn't guarantee it. Someone had threatened his daughter. Someone had demonstrated they could reach her, despite security. Someone wanted Ty dead badly enough to eliminate 3 other witnesses in a single week. And all the FBI protection in the world might not be enough to stop them. As Morrison coordinated teams outside, as agents began installing security systems, as the family huddled together in the living room trying to process the new reality, Ty's phone buzzed one more time. Another message from the same unknown number. This time, just text. 10 days until Nathan's trial. 10 days to change your mind about testifying. Choose wisely. Your daughter's life depends on it. The message was clear. Testify and Lindy dies. Stay silent and Nathan goes free. Ty stared at the phone. The impossible choice laid out in cold digital letters. Save his daughter or deliver justice? Protect his family or honor the other victims who'd suffered under Nathan's operation? There was no good answer, no right choice, just varying degrees of terrible consequences. And somewhere out there, someone was watching Heartland, watching Lindy, watching Ty, waiting to see which choice he'd make, waiting to see if fear would win. That concludes today's episode. Morrison arrived at Heartland with devastating news. 3 more veterinarians from the Alaska facility were dead. All deaths staged as accidents, but forensically proven to be professional hits. All 3 were scheduled to testify against Nathan at his upcoming trial. Morrison's conclusion was chilling. Someone is systematically eliminating witnesses, and Ty is the priority target. He knows the most, experienced the longest captivity, can tie Nathan directly to torture and illegal operations. Morrison recommended moving the family to a federal safe house. Ty refused, unwilling to terrify Lindy with running and hiding. Dr. Chen intervened with clinical reality. Ty's PTSD is so severe that adding this stress could cause complete breakdown, catatonia, psychotic break, or physical collapse. After heated family debate, Ty reluctantly accepted FBI protection at Heartland, discreet agents, security upgrades, protective detail for Lindy at school. Then Daniel called from his hospital in Anchorage. Someone tried to access his room last night claiming to be a doctor, carrying a syringe possibly filled with the same barbiturates that killed Dr. Chen. FBI moved Daniel to a secure facility. Minutes later, Ty's phone buzzed. Unknown number. A photograph of Lindy at school taken today, showing her playing in her purple jacket. Text, "Pretty daughter. Would be a shame if something happened to her." FBI teams immediately pulled Lindy from school. Another message arrived. 10 days until Nathan's trial. 10 days to change your mind about testifying. Choose wisely. Your daughter's life depends on it. The choice is impossible. Testify and risk Lindy's life, or stay silent and let Nathan go free. Someone is watching Heartland, watching Lindy, waiting to see if fear will win. Join us next time as the danger escalates and Ty faces the most impossible decision of his life. If this episode terrified you with threats against Lindy, please like and subscribe. Until next time, this is Cowboys and Cattle.